माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, पूर्वोत्तर परिषद के 65वें बैठक पर आपका स्वागत है। पूर्वोत्तर क्षेत्र के विकास राज्य मंत्रालय संघ व पूर्वोत्तर परिषद के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह से अनुरोध करती हूं कि आप माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को फूलों के गुलदस्ते व मोमेंटो प्रस्तुत करें। मैं पूर्वोत्तर क्षेत्र के विकास मंत्रालय के सचिव श्री नवीन वर्मा को मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी और चंद शब्दों से मैं चाहूँगी कि प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करें।
श्रद्धेय प्रधानमंत्री जी, माननीय मंत्री डोनर एवं एनईसी के अध्यक्ष महोदय, माननीय गवर्नर्स, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, it is my proud privilege to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister to the 65th Plenary of the North Eastern Council. Sir, since yesterday we have had presentations from 18 central ministries pertaining to the development of the Northeast, covering variety of issues from livelihoods, entrepreneurship, connectivity and other infrastructure. We have had presentations on sanitation, drinking water, border area development, sir. These deliberations have been very useful, not only for understanding central schemes, sir, but also for understanding the state perspectives. Sir, we have with us two secretaries from the Government of India. We have the chief secretaries from all the states. We have very senior officers from the states, sir, and the central ministries. And this has been a learning process for us, sir. Sir, yesterday in the first session of the plenary session, sir, some agenda items were discussed, sir. Some of the significant were a new initiative to support procurement and transportation of identified agri-horticulture produce for the Northeast, including spices and medicinal plants, funds for extension of runway at the Umurai Airport in Shillong, supporting the formation of a professionally managed Northeastern Tourism Development Council in a public-private partnership mode to implement the Tourism Northeast Plan, sir, assist state governments in creation of skilling infrastructure. Sir, we look forward to further deliberations in the plenary session under the able guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister, sir. We again welcome you, sir, to this Congress. Thank you.
We will now have a screening of films on progress of Northeastern region in the last few years.
India's Northeast. Picturesque, a paradise on its lawn is witnessing a concerted development push for the last 2 years. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has focused on fast-tracking all-round development of this region. Connectivity issues have now assumed a new seriousness. National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, NHIDCL, was set up in 2014 for fast-tracking construction of roads. NHIDCL has also been tasked with construction of neglected interstate roads. Donor. 3 new bridges being built on the Brahmaputra will further boost growth. Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh have now been brought on the grey map. The Honorable Prime Minister flagged off train services from Metipata in Meghalaya to Tupui in Assam and from Naharlagun in Arunachal Pradesh to Guwahati in Assam. With broad gauging of the major rail networks, the Northeast today is far better connected with the rest of the country. Flying to the Northeast has become with 1,146 scheduled flights to the region per week. 7 of the 11 existing airports have 9 landing facilities. Direct travel from Lima Road to Delhi since April 2015 and now from Aizawl to Delhi has further reduced distances. Inland water transport system on Brahmaputra is being strengthened. 19 new national waterways have been declared. The obvious ecological and economic advantages of using the Barak waterway are already being explored. The comprehensive telecom development plan costing 5,336 crore rupees has enabled better mobile connectivity. Internet services got a boost with the recent launch of International Internet Gateway from Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh to Agartala, making it the third in the country after Mumbai and Chennai. This would not only give a boost to the Northeast BPO promotion scheme, but would also help the people to reap benefits of Digital India.
Before, internet facilities was only in Agartala, but now we even get in villages, all the villages, and it is very easier for us, those who live in village.
In fact, the Northeast would stand to benefit the most from the Act East policy that the government is actively pursuing. Strengthening of power transmission network at a total investment of 9,865 crore rupees covering all states is underway. The commissioning of Vishwanath Charyali to Agra transmission network has brought 500 megawatt of power to the region. Substantial increase in generating capacity and transmission lines to Bangladesh have made Tripura a power surplus state. The Northeast can serve varied and growing demand for adventure, history, heritage, wildlife and religious tourism. The Prime Minister's repeated visits have helped focus attention on tourism. Under the new scheme of Swadesh Darshan, projects costing 722 crore rupees to develop 8 circuits have so far been sanctioned. The traditions of hygiene and cleanliness in the region got an impetus with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Sikkim became the first open defecation-free state. Gangtok has been ranked the cleanest city in the region. The region is known for its abundant organic varieties of vegetables, fruits and flowers. A new scheme exclusively for the Northeast to promote value chain-based organic farming with emphasis on value addition has been launched. Sikkim has been declared as India's first organic state. Community-based resource management by self-help groups or SHGs and the creation of livelihoods are being focused by Ministry of Donor and Northeastern Council. With relaxation of guidelines of the National Rural Livelihood Mission of Ministry of Rural Development, promotion of SHGs would get an impetus. A large number of SHGs are also benefiting through credit linkages by Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited. There is a wide variety of handloom and handicrafts, particularly cane and bamboo products in the Northeast. To promote them, the Ministry of Textiles is establishing government centers. Use of geotextiles to enhance durability of roads and slope stabilization is being implemented. Space technology has been applied to increase production of Muga silk. Production and marketing of handloom and handicraft products are being promoted through the efforts of Ministries of Donor, Textiles and Tribal Affairs. 93 lakh bank accounts have been opened under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, 2,790 crore rupees have been disbursed already to 6 lakh entrepreneurs. 21 lakh beneficiaries have been covered under the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and 19 lakh enrolled under Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana.
Many developments have been taking places in the Northeast in the past 2 years. Many roads have been come up, new rail lines have been laid, air connections and mobile service has been approved.
Capacity building at all levels has been given due importance. The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, along with many other ministries, is focusing on skilling people in all sectors, particularly in the services sector, including hospitality, retail, wellness, and IT-enabled services, etc. In line with the focus of the Prime Minister on the Northeast, his exhortation that 8 central ministers visit Northeast every 15 days has started showing visible results. This, along with constant review of projects and schemes by senior officers, including the donor at doorstep initiative, has accelerated the implementation processes. Northeast today is progressing at a fast pace and is becoming the region where the sun not only rises first, but also shines brighter and brighter with each passing day.
After the screening of the film on progress of Northeastern region in the last 2 years, I will request the speakers to give their speech, but before that, this is just a reminder, the written speeches is already distributed and taken as read. So you are requested to restrict your speech to the given
Media. May I again request the media to kindly leave the hall so that we can start the proceedings. Thank you very much.
You can come back for the Prime Minister's address.
Achha, you can again come back when the Honourable Prime Minister makes his address. Thank you.
I would like to call the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Dr. to give his speech.
Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Governors, distinguished Chief Ministers, distinguished officers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege also to welcome Honorable Prime Minister on behalf of myself and on behalf of my government and on behalf of the people of state of Meghalaya. It is indeed a reflection of your endeavor and commitment to address the concerns of the people of Northeast, and we are happy to host you here in the 65th Plenary session of NEC. I already have my speech, which is already circulated, and this is required to be taken as read. Number of such plenary session has actually culminated into conscious decisions and the need of the region reflected in those decisions wherein we feel that the northeastern states feel that NEC, as far as its mandate is concerned, must be further strengthened and must be further empowered. We are aware of the strength of the region, the untapped potentialities of the region, and appropriate empowering of NEC will enable the states to actually realize these potentialities to enable our people to realize their dreams. The Vision 2020 actually provides a roadmap for the overall development of the Northeast in tandem with the developmental initiatives of the states of Northeast. Now, in order to achieve this mandate of NEC, to actually embark upon a number of initiatives in sync with Vision 2020, I would only put one very important and pertinent suggestion, that the decision of the government to ensure that 10% of their budgetary allocation is spent in the northeastern region. This particular decision of the government has helped in many ways to penetrate various developmental initiatives in the Northeast. And the non-lapsable central pool of resources, which was a culmination of this decision, wherein the 10% unspent from this 10% allocated fund by the respective ministries are actually passed on to this NLCPR. Over the years, substantial amount has accumulated under this NLCPR. Now, if we look at the actual budgetary support to NEC, we will always see that there is a declining allocation of fund and actual release of fund to NEC. Therefore, in order to enable NEC to live up to the expectations and also to actually live up to the mandate of the NEC as originally intended, it will be only appropriate to ensure that this unspent accumulated fund which is transferred to NLCPR, certain percent of this fund is passed on to NEC so as to enable NEC to take measures to attend to the prioritized projects of the states of the Northeast. And that will go a long way in actually empowering and mandating NEC to take care of its mandate. Honorable Prime Minister is aware of the various developmental gaps and various disparities that exist in Northeast. And with the recent announcement of the erstwhile Look East policy at Act East policy, I think it is only appropriate that NEC is further strengthened and necessary support to increase the fund allocation and fund release is taken care of. Yesterday's discussion in the Council and earlier preceding discussions on a number of occasions have actually culminated only into this ultimate decision. Therefore, the whole thing revolves around fund, and I take this privilege on behalf of the people of the state and on behalf of the people of Northeast that Honorable Prime Minister may have his personal intervention into this and ensure that the ever declining fund allocation and release to NEC is reversed, and further look at the suggestion that NLCPR fund, certain amount of this NLCPR fund is put at the disposal of NEC to take care of various developmental gaps that exist in Northeast in tandem with the states governments of Northeast. Thank you.
I would request the Governor of Meghalaya and Manipur, Shri Shillong, to give his speech.
I am extremely glad to welcome our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Union Minister of State for Donor Chairman NEC Dr. Jitendra Singh, Excellencies the Governors, Honorable Chief Ministers, members of the North Eastern Council, officers of the Government of India and of the northeastern states of Meghalaya, the abode of clouds. Sir, this Meghalaya has got a great attraction. From 1901 till date, when I was seeing the history, so many great people have visited this Shillong. Swami Vivekananda came here and spoke that it is God's own bounty. Tagore visited Shillong, did lot of literary work like Gitanjali. Shri Aurobindo came here for meditation. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose came here to evolve a strategy to fight British. Former President Dr. Abdul Kalam came many times to inspire students. I hope our Honorable Prime Minister will also be very much impressed by Shillong and Meghalaya because of its bright blue sky, green hills and enchanting waterfalls of Meghalaya. This Northeast Council is a very good platform to mobilize the resources for our Meghalaya and Manipur, especially for economic growth, promotion of traditional crafts, air services and connectivity, development of tourism, telecommunication, surface transport, power sector, international border trade, disaster management, setting up of School of Planning and Architecture, Regional Institute of Environmental Studies, sports, project sanctions and broadband connectivity. All these things are to be done with a great effort, with coordination, with involvement and dedication. The states, the Meghalaya and Manipur deserves the attention of all our people because the Meghalaya has got certain special characteristics that is not seen in other parts. The respect to women, the property rights are going to women. It is a matrilineal society. In the whole of Meghalaya, nobody can say there is a problem of dowry or female feticide. So the Meghalaya is a center for community living at grassroots village levels. All the tribals, maybe Kasi, Jayantiya, Garo, they live together. No poverty death. The beggars are almost nil. This community, the living together. Some of the border security forces, people used to tell me, the infiltration from Bangladesh is also very much less when it is compared to Assam or Bengal. Because every village is well knit together. No outsider, it's very difficult to enter and stay. So that is the unity of Meghalaya at the grassroots level. In the same way, Manipur, that is a classical state. The people of Manipur are for arts, music, dances, sports. Wonderful state. Both in Manipur and Meghalaya, their confidence level is very high. Take agriculture. A young girl from Mao Gate, that is border of Nagaland, she takes 3-4 lorry loads of flowers to Imphal every day, and she earns lakhs of rupees. In the same way, in Meghalaya, a lot of farmers, they produce vegetables, fruits, and pineapples, and so many things. And they're all very confident. The confidence at the village level is also wonderful. Then what this state needs? 4 things. I think we all have to put our mind together to evolve, to establish a wonderful infrastructure. Transport facility. Once the transport increases, the tourism will flourish. The youths need employment. Agro-based industries are needed. The people of Meghalaya or Manipur, they need one more emotional thing. The perception about the Meghalaya or Manipur or Northeast in the rest of the country, some untoward incidents happens. It hurts them. So there must be more positive information about the Northeast in the minds of the rest of India. See the innermost longing of ordinary tribal people. No separatism. I met one of the tribal teacher, a middle school teacher. He told, sir, whenever you come, we stand up, national anthem, huge respect. When I hear national anthem, Dravida, Utkala, Banga, sir, there should be a day our Northeast also should find a mention in national anthem. Brahmaputra must be mentioned. See, this is the longing for the unity. Such a wonderful play, people here. I need three things from the center. Number 1, about Northeast, in CBSE school books, in other school curriculum, the great cultural renaissance brought by Shankar Dev, or the freedom fighter like Lachit Barfur Khan, or Kongjam Wara, war heroes of Manipur. It all should be mentioned in the whole country in different textbooks. Then they will feel how the Northeast was fighting against the foreigners. And at the same time, and in the lot of students exchange, interstate living programs, Northeast students coming here, and from here, the people going there. Like this, more interaction is also needed. Finally, I am concluding. Sir, under the dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister, and with the hard work, dedication of all our chief ministers and governors and all our officers, a golden era will begin to dawn, sir. If we all work together, we can make this Northeast as paradise on earth. Thank you, sir.
अरुणाचल प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री श्री कालिको पद से अनुरोध है कि वे आपसे संबोधित।
परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, आदरणीय केंद्रीय मंत्री जो कि NEC के चेयरमैन भी है श्री जितेंद्र सिंह जी, पूर्वोत्तर राज्य के महानुभाव राज्यपाल, मेरे सहयोगियों, माननीय मुख्यमंत्रीगण, NEC के माननीय सदस्यों, डोनर मंत्रालय के सचिव, NEC के सचिव, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स जो PSU और BRO के यहाँ उपस्थित, भारत सरकार और राज्य सरकारों के वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों, देवियों और सज्जनों, NEC का यह 50वां प्लेनरी सम्मेलन वाकई खास है, जिसमें माननीय प्रधानमंत्री भी उपस्थित है। मैं पूर्वोत्तर क्षेत्र के सभी नागरिकों की तरफ से आपको यहाँ आने पर हार्दिक धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन देता हूँ। महोदय, इस क्षेत्र के लिए आपकी संवेदना और चिंता वाकई सराहनीय है। दरअसल मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हमने कई महत्वपूर्ण बदलाव देखे हैं, जबकि मुझे याद है कि पिछली सरकार के दौरान पूर्वोत्तर राज्य को केंद्रीय मंत्री से मिलने के लिए भी दिल्ली में जाकर कई दिनों तक डेरा डालना पड़ता था। यहाँ तक कि राष्ट्रीय विकास परिषद की बैठक में पूर्वोत्तर राज्य को दाना तक नहीं डाला जाता था, जहाँ मंत्री और अधिकारी सिर्फ बड़े राज्यों की प्राथमिकताओं को ही तवज्जो देते थे। यह वास्तव में एक क्षेत्र के लिए पासा पलटने से कम नहीं है, जहां प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व के केंद्रीय मंत्रालय को इस क्षेत्र का नियमित दौरा करने की हिदायत है, ताकि इन राज्यों की ज़मीनी हकीकत जान सके और हमारे मुद्दों को और चिंताओं का उचित समाधान कर सके। आज जब हम यहाँ इस ऐतिहासिक अवसर पर इकट्ठा हुए हैं, तो हमें NEC की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका पर नज़र डालनी चाहिए और पूर्वोत्तर के लोगों को न्याय संगत, समग्र और समावेशी विकास में इसकी भागीदारी खींचनी चाहिए। मैं इस सम्मानित सदन के चंद पल लेना चाहूँगा, जिसमें मैं अरुणाचल प्रदेश को प्रभावित करने वाले कुछ मुद्दों पर चर्चा करूँगा और आशा करूँगा कि हम उन समस्याओं का उचित समाधान निकाले सकें। हमारे चिंताओं का एक क्षेत्र विशेष सारांश आप लोगों को दिया गया, जबकि मैं आप लोगों को ज़मीनी हकीकत से रूबरू करूँगा। अरुणाचल जैसे राज्य के लिए योजना बनाना अपने आप में नायाब और अनूठा है। यहाँ समस्या ही अजीब है। जैसा अरुणाचल विकास रिपोर्ट में बताया गया है कि इस पहाड़ी क्षेत्र में सेवा व्यवस्था की लागत समतल क्षेत्र से 2.5 गुना अधिक है। इसका कारण सिर्फ परिवहन की लागत ही नहीं, बल्कि स्थानीय कुशल अकुशल मानव संसाधन से भी है। बुनियादी ढांचे में खर्च हुए राशि हमारे लोगों द्वारा नहीं, बल्कि दुर्गम क्षेत्र द्वारा गबन की जाती है। इसलिए जनसंख्या आधारित योजना ज़मीनी ज़रूरतों से बिल्कुल नहीं मिलती। उदाहरण के तौर पर एक कम जनसंख्या वाला क्षेत्र PMGSY के निर्देशों के अनुसार योग्य ही नहीं हो पाएगा। इसलिए इस जनसंख्या मापदंडों में 250 अधिक से 150 अधिक तक की 2011 जनगणना से छूट दी जानी चाहिए। NEC ने सहयोग के पोलों को जो मजबूती दी है वो वाकई तारीफ योग्य है। वहीं डोनर मंत्रालय ने भी अब डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन दृष्टिकोण को अपनाया, जिसका हम स्वागत करते हैं। शायद हमें इस काउंसिल को अधिक से अधिक सशक्तिकरण बनाने की आवश्यकता है, ताकि पूर्वोत्तर राज्यों के संसाधनों और क्षमताओं में बहाल लाई जा सके। इस समय एनईसी और डोनर मंत्रालय को कुछ आवंटन में लागत सूचकांक वृद्धि की जानी चाहिए, लेकिन यह दुख की बात है कि इसे कई सालों से स्थिर कर दिया गया है। जो मेरे मित्र शर्मा जी ने मैं यहाँ उल्लेख किया है, क्योंकि डोनर मंत्रालय और एनईसी एक बड़े क्षेत्र के दृष्टिकोण से देखते हैं, इसलिए इनके वित्त पोषण के लिए एक अधिक व्यापक आधार दृष्टिकोण की मांग होनी चाहिए। यह मेरा निम्न निवेदन होगा कि एनईसी और डोनर मंत्रालय के संसाधनों को वर्तमान में कम से कम 5 गुना बढ़ाया जाना चाहिए, जिनको हमारा सहयोगियों माननीय मुख्यमंत्रीगण भी सहमत होंगे। यही एक रास्ता है जिसके द्वारा हम हमारे पूर्वोत्तर राज्यों को समग्र, खुशहाल और मजबूत बनाने के आपके सपने को साकार कर सकेंगे। आज जनता के मन में विश्वास पैदा करना बहुत जरूरी और महत्वपूर्ण हो गया है, ताकि सीमावर्ती क्षेत्र में लोगों में विश्वास और राष्ट्रीय प्रेम की भावना जागृत हो और वो अविश्वास हो सके कि वह भारत देश का एक अभिन्न हिस्सा है। अपेक्षा और आशंका की भावना जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट को लोगों के दिलों से निकालना होगा और समुदायों को आश्वासित करना होगा। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि जब विकास, सेवा और सुविधाओं का संगम होगा, तब हर कहीं अमन और शांति का वातावरण होगा। मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को यह विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि हम देश निर्माण में पूरा योगदान देना चाहते हैं। हम इस छवि को बदलना चाहते हैं कि उत्तर पूर्व राज्य केवल केंद्र से मांगते हैं। अगर केंद्र हमारे साथ एक कदम चलेगा तो हम 4 कदम चलेंगे। हम विकास के एजेंडा में बराबर की भागीदारी करने को उत्साहित है। मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को पूर्ण विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि उनके मार्गदर्शन में अरुणाचल प्रदेश विकास के नए आयाम स्थापित करने को तत्पर है और उत्तर पूर्व में हम सभी राज्य के एक दूसरे के साथ सहयोग से एक नए भारत का निर्माण करने में अपना पूरा योगदान देंगे। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Chairman Sri Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable Governors and Chief Ministers, learned members of the NSC, Secretary Donor, Secretary NSC, and other secretaries and senior officers of the Government of India and state governments. On behalf of the people of Arunachal Pradesh, I extend heartiest greetings to you all and warmly congratulate also Sri Sarbananda Sonowal for his assuming the office of Chief Minister of Assam with a massive mandate from the people. I warmly congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji for completing 2 years tenure of the NDA government, leading the nation to greater heights in all directions. I shall try to limit my speech, omitting the points raised by our Chief Minister. The biggest constraint of Arunachal Pradesh is absolutely poor connectivity, and we have to make a multiple attack to address the problem. Road. The Government of India has already launched the Trans-Arunachal Highway project. It needs completion on top priority basis and as per the timeline fixed. We need a frontier highway connecting all important centers and towns along the Indo-China border. We request the Honorable Prime Minister to expedite the sanction which is presently pending with the Cabinet Secretariat. We have 12 interested roads known as the orphan roads which need to be maintained, and that is yet to be done except one road taken up by the donor ministry. I request the Honorable Prime Minister for permitting this to be taken up by the NSIDCL under the Actis policy. Also, it is necessary to take up a stretch of 12 kilometers of road from Lumla in Tawang, Arunachal Pradesh to Tasinghans in Bhutan for strengthening border trade, tourism, and alternate safe road of communication bypassing the Tresua Sela Pass. This will also cut short the distance from Tawang to Guwahati by 155 kilometers. I also request the Honorable Prime Minister to take up the 160 kilometers of steel well road on the Myanmar side as a part of the Goodwill Mission under AEP to meet the demands and expectations of the people of the Northeast. Also, it is necessary to approve feeder roads connecting all the identified centers with the national state highways, Trans-Arunachal Highway, and proposed frontier highway. Also, it is necessary to take up East-West Industrial Corridor as proposed by the Chief Minister Sri Kalikapur in his written address. Rail, to increase the frequency of the Guwahati-Naharlagun daily intercity express twice a day and Naharlagun-Guwahati New Delhi weekly express to twice a day and add additional courses. We are grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister for commissioning these two important trains to Itanagar. Also, it is necessary to connect all foothills towns and clusters along the Assam-Arunachal border with lane links. To complete the long-awaited Redgam Road Bogeybill Bridge within the revised timeline of June 2017, not to allow any further extension in the interest of the people of the entire northern region. The small airport at Teju under construction at the initiative of Donor Ministry and the NSC needs commissioning early. I welcome the decision of the Donor Ministry to start commercial helicopter services within the NAR and also making Guwahati Airport as the hub of air services in the northern region. The Greenfield Airport project for Arunachal Pradesh should be sanctioned and executed under a strict time frame. There is need for upgrading 26 helipads of the state of Arunachal and also add 30 new helipads to provide better connectivity to the border areas. We approve 3-4 additional airports to cover 83,743 square kilometers of the state. Sites are to be selected in consultation with the state government. Of the 8 ALZs, 3 are completed and request completion of the remaining 5 and also use those for civilian purposes. Waterways. Arunachal has huge potential for river communication with 7 major rivers confluencing in the Brahmaputra. All these and the Brahmaputra have to be made navigable by regular dredging operation, and for this purpose we request the constitution of Northeast Dredging Corporation. Also request Honorable Prime Minister to implement the 98 declaration of the Government of India, declaring the Brahmaputra as the National Highway number 2. Telecommunication facilities in the state are absolutely poor, erratic, unreliable, and even in Raj Bhavan, we don't have this regular connectivity problem. There is void in the entire border belt, including Bamla Pass at the LOS with the Indo-China border, causing severe hardships to the Jawans and the other officers of the military services. Then there is need to cover entire states by All India Radio as well as Doordarshan. Doordarshan through the DTAs can cover 100% population of area, and we request that free DTH sets should be provided to the border villages, and the cost will not be very heavy. Also, we request 24-hour dedicated DD channel in Itanagar, as there is not a single channel in Itanagar for news or other important educational activities. I also request Honorable Prime Minister to expedite this in the respect of hydropower, the 2,000 megawatt Subansiri, Lower Subansiri project to amicable means. I would request the Honorable Prime Minister resolve also the problems of other projects which are facing environmental and other clearance difficulties. Further, I request that there should be small, medium and large mega projects, and there should be definition for that, because right now all projects beyond 25 megawatt are considered as large or mega, which create a lot of apprehension among the people and thereby lead to resistance. Environment. We request for transfer of the Campa fund to the states to implement afforestation and other programs related to wildlife and biodiversity conservation. Also, Arunachal has a pending request for creation of 3 battalions of ecological task force to take care of 68,000 square kilometers of the forest areas. For border development and stop migration of the population to urban areas, military cantonment in the remote areas may be set up. Then we request also for relaxation of height and chest norms for recruitment in the military services as done in the state police and CAPF in respect of the youth of northeastern region and Arunachal in particular. For exploration of the minerals which are there, we need support by an expert group to assist in preparing a master plan. Tourism, we request to promote tourism through Indian missions across the world based on the premise of the Honorable Chief Minister, which is accepted by all of us and praised by all of us in the country. Terrorism divides and tourism unites. For promotion of spiritual tourism, the Arunachal Pradesh will be brought under the Prachar scheme. Agri-horticulture for development, we need an agri-horticulture park, which we don't have in the state. And we can also expect the Honorable Prime Minister to include Arunachal Pradesh in the organic mission of the Prime Minister, as we are already organic by default with hardly 50% consumption of fertilizers. For improvement of the health sector, we need help for establishing the state-of-the-art hospitals and super specialty hospitals. For human resource development, we need the NSC and the donor to finance the setting up of vocational training centers and working men's hostels for the students and youth of the Northeast. For the improving the cultural bridge, the Uttar Purab Kshetra Vikas Divas that is celebrated on 27th May may be celebrated all over the country in major cities, etc. Then we also need institutional support for capacity building, for which I suggest the constitution of Regional Center for Entrepreneurship Development, Northeastern Institute of Food Processing Technology, and Institute of Road and Building Research and Development in Arunachal Pradesh. NSP allocation, which is not yet released, retained but sanctioned 637 crore and committed liabilities of donor 73 crores, so that also we request to be released. We also oppose or protest against the one-size-fits-all policy of then we support NSC's proposal for enhancements of its budget from 800 crore to 2,000 crore, and also to enhance the budget of the donor ministry from 2,500 crore to a substantial amount for causing real development as Indian of growth. We finally request the august body to receive direct proposals without routing through the state governments involving lengthy process up to rupees 20 lakhs in each case. Thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing.
This is just a request. The Honorable Governors and the Honorable Chief Ministers to try to confine your speeches within the allotted time as far as possible. अब मैं असम के मुख्यमंत्री सर्बानंद सोनोवाल को मंच पर बुलाना चाहूंगी और वे अपने संबोधन देंगे।
Namaskar, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, Chairman, Northeastern Region, Northeastern Council, and also the Minister Donor, Your Excellencies, the Governor of Northeastern States, my colleagues Chief Ministers, distinguished member of NSC, official of Government of India, and Northeastern States, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. First of all, this is my first time getting an opportunity to take part in this famous platform called Northeastern Region. And this has given me a thought and also given me an opportunity to recollect my those student days where I used to work for NESO. NESO is a platform comprising of all the leading student organizations of 8 states of region. That platform used to discuss about the common issues of Northeastern region, about our problem in the different dimension, about our constraint in the economic sector, communication sector, etc., etc. So now, today, I'm especially grateful to our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He has given time to address this plenary session. This is a golden moment for all of us because Narendra Modi ji is giving special priority to the overall growth of Northeastern region in many ways. And he is the first Prime Minister who has directed all the Union Minister to pay visit to the Northeastern region in every fortnight. That indicates his seriousness of our growth, his commitment to the people of Northeast. We are all Northeasterner, proud to be an Indian. So, in the spirit of that, sabka saath, sabka vikas, we are to move together. And I believe if we could maintain that spirit, then definitely good days are ahead. And I do not want to take much time because I believe time has been limited to everybody. I want to focus 2-3 points from our state. Particularly, I'd like to submit the constraint we are facing, particularly in the resource mobilization sector. And in this regard, we need special support, and we are confident that we are going to get this support because Prime Minister Modi ji has taken so many initiatives, particularly under the Act East policy, the faster growth of our region in the communication sector, in the economic sector, organic sector, in many ways. And today, I am convinced that if we all implement the flagship scheme launched by Honorable Prime Minister in the Northeastern region, whether it is Skill India, Make in India, Digital India, I believe will definitely prosper in a better way. And I especially request Northeastern region, this NEC chairman to take special step in this regard. And I believe we should set our agenda, priority agenda for the growth of Northeastern region. And that can be possible in consultation with all our chief ministerial colleagues by the respective members of and also the chairman of NEC. And with these few words, I again extend my thankfulness to Narendra Modi ji for giving his valuable time to the people of Northeastern region. And I'm confident whatever potentialities and possibilities are there in the region. And as you know, biodiversity is our main strength. And if we could develop industry in the organic sector, like Sikkim is doing, I believe this particular region, blessed with nature, beauty, landscape, etc., etc., we have so many resources. If you talk about water resource, if you talk about the resource of our forest, if you talk about petroleum, many ways we have got resources, and this has been gifted by Almighty. So now we are to work hard for our faster growth. I believe with this commitment, this NEC will definitely grow in the near future. And with these few words, I again extend my thankfulness to you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
अपने असम के राज्यपाल श्री पी आचार्य को मंच पर बुलाना चाहूंगी और वे अपने संबोधन करेंगे।
Respected Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Jitendra Singh ji, brother governors and respected chief ministers, officers for the government, namaskar to all of you. It's a great opportunity for us. For the first time, it may be the Prime Minister attending the Northeast Council and guiding us. Sir, Northeast Council can play a very, very purposeful and dominant role in the developmental activities and bringing emotional integration with the mainland. So for this, necessity of peace is there. All the 8 states or main of the important states there is insurgency. And under your leadership, you have taken a bold step to bring NSN-IM to the peace table on the 3rd August of 2015. It is a momentous development, and we hope if Nagaland becomes peaceful, the gateway for peace for Northeast is very easy. The greatest achievement in these 2 years in the river guidance, our people from the Northeast who has to travel for Delhi for their small or big developmental activities. Now it has been made very easy through the donor ministry that all the ministries, our ministers, are available in the place of wherever we are. That is the greatest achievement. And look east and act east. This mantra is in action now. The passport office in Dimapur is the greatest asset to us also. And an assurance of a veterinary college in the Nagaland, that is also has been appreciated by all of us. Medical college for the Nagaland, it is in the process. The government has cleared all the requirement. Then there is Mahila Battalion, which is unique in Nagaland. We hope this Mahila Battalion, which has given the employment and security ideas, has to be strengthened by the central government. The small Nagaland government cannot afford to do it. There is tea industry and bamboo development. This can also be expedited for employment purpose. The most important thing is air connectivity. Almost all the states in Northeast have got good air connectivity. But Dimapur, which is the only capital city in Nagaland, we have very restricted air connectivity. So air connectivity from Dimapur to Guwahati, Guwahati to Imphal, or Dimapur to Imphal, Imphal to Agartala, Agartala to Calcutta is an urgent necessity of our area. Promotion of industries, trade and commerce. Our universities can play an important role. At present, our universities are centers of knowledge. It can be the centers of development also as a nodal agency. Our students with skill, if they come out with the natural wealth that we are having here, can be created as wealth, and we can be second to none in any other state. Sir, there is a necessity of food park and solar park. We have got organic food, we have got plenty of solar energy, electricity, education and employment. 3 E's. If we focus on this, we can march forward in the developmental activities. Need for cold storages, skill development in university students. And of all the things, emotional integration, it has become one-way traffic for the Northeast people to go to the mainland for health purposes, for education, for employment. So if the people-to-people fellowship exchange programs are conducted, emotional integration can be strengthened. And we in Nagaland, we tried doctors from Mumbai, 15 doctors in 2 batches. They came to different areas of Nagaland and had medical camps. So there is a necessity in the border area to give these services. So there is a plan with agencies, social service companies, social service NGOs, and organizations like Art of Living. They are prepared to give services to the border areas which is in bad need. Strengthening of fellowship centers in the border area is also very important. I would like to now come to the problems and issues of Assam. Sir, NEC can play a major role in social upliftment and diversified communities of northeastern states. NEC's role in mobilizing groups for social service. There is something known as dormant energy, organized strength, human resources, or what we can call it hidden energy. There are a lot of ex-servicemen are there. And these people can be nodal agents for our projects to reach the people. So also students organization, Sahitya Sabha, 600 branches are there. NSS, that can be also made use. So we have to supplement our nodal agency or agencies to identify the beneficiaries and to reach the benefit of the beneficiaries. Some organized strength is there. If we can identify these things and make them take part in the developmental activities, it can be purposeful and can we reach the goal quickly. Friends, as I requested you, the most important thing is emotional integration. Along with the development, there is a feeling that tribals are second-class citizens or northeastern people are taken for granted. How it can be reduced, how can it be removed from the minds of the mainland? If there are institutions, especially medical college, engineering college, where we can reserve seats for the mainland people, they can come to the mainland, or the mainland universities. Young people can come over here for sightseeing, meet the people, exchange with the people, so that universities and youths can play an important role in the developmental activities and emotional integration also. Thank you very much. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
I now request the Chief Minister of Manipur, Shri O. I. Singh, to deliver his speech.
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Chairman North-Eastern Council, Union Minister of Donor, Shri Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable Governors, my colleague Chief Ministers, Council members, distinguished members and participants. Since my speech already circulated and also the Honorable Prime Minister has limited time, I will not take much time. I will highlight only few points because luckily for last 15 years I was most of the time attended this type of North-Eastern Council plenary meeting. But my former colleagues and present colleagues, whether it may be any government, the North-Eastern region, all the honorable ministers, all the chief ministers, we are crying for enhancement of our plan fund allocation for North-Eastern Council, including donor ministries. But till today, there is not much substantive increase of our plan fund allocation for NEC, including the donor ministry. Taking advantage of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is present here, I would like to appeal and also to request to Honorable Prime Minister for enhancement of our budget allocation. Otherwise, this will be extremely difficult to change the North-Eastern region, whether it may be in terms of communication in terms of road connectivity, rail connectivity and air connectivity. Because most of the North-Eastern region, it may be due to geographical region, hilly terrain, most of the areas, and bottleneck of transport, construction materials, every one of us well aware that it cannot be compared whether we are going to construct, say for example, one particular national highway road compared with other mainland. So without any enhancement, substantial enhancement of budget, it will be extremely difficult to change, to bring the entire North-Eastern region to change. This is my humble appeal to Honorable Prime Minister from the bottom of my heart. And another area is, I does not like actually to mention, but in my last plenary session also, I raised the issue equitable distribution of fund, particularly from the Northeastern Council. Not any since from the inception, the fund allocation compare with the other states. I am not objection for more allocation of fund, whether it may be Assam or Meghalaya or Mizoram, any other states of the brother states. But at least I would like to feel when at the time of fund allocation, Manipur also should be at par with the other neighboring our brother states. Till today, when we check up, since inception of the NEC, now there is a gap of minimum 6 to 7% compared with the other states. This is my appeal to the NEC, Honorable NEC Chairman, the officials of the NEC. I am not asking please give to us to Manipur more fund, at least at par an equitable distribution with the other our brother states. And another point, in recognition of the talent of sports youths of the Northeastern region, Honorable Prime Minister kindly announced and also set up one National Sports University in Manipur. The Minister of Sports, Union Minister of Sports has asked minimum requirement of 200 acres of land. But since 2015 May, we have entrusted and transferred 346 acres of land. We are planning for future expansion, even up to we are targeting to transfer of land up to the tune of, if possible, up to 500 acres of land, or minimum 400 acres of land we are planning. But a small area of around 34 acres of land, that is not in the middle, but it is on the other side. That is a little litigation is there. We hope this will sort it out within a short period of time. And at the same time, I would like to suggest, whether it may be National Sports University in Manipur or any other institution, to construct the necessary infrastructure will definitely take time. This is not a question of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. To construct the necessary infrastructure at the permanent campus will definitely take time. There is one sports authority of India's Sai complex is there, or there is a Kumalampak sports complex is there, where there is 5th national game was held there in Manipur. Anytime it can be start as a temporary complex, temporary campus. From the state government side, we are ready, whatever we can, whatever necessary assistance or help from the state government side. If once it is started, this will be the best interest of the Northeastern region, and more particularly the sports talented youth of Manipur. This is my humble appeal, so kindly start it immediately. Another area is about the communication that may be, which I have already mentioned, it may be in terms of road connectivity, railway connectivity, or air connectivity. Due to it may be geographical location, since from the time of British India, from Manipur to Myanmar, the government of India is kind enough extension of railway line from Jiribam to Tupul, Jiribam to Imphal via Tupul. Honorable Prime Minister is going to inaugurate some portion of the extension of railway line from Jiribam. So that is, thank you for that. I would like to appeal also from Jiribam to Tupul and Imphal. Jiribam to Tupul, Government of India is targeting to complete latest by 2017. I would like to appeal from Imphal to More. The DPR already submitted to the railway board and kindly get it done sanctioned. Otherwise, after completion of this up to Imphal, if it is again started from Imphal to Myanmar, that is More border town, this will definitely take time. The Honorable Prime Minister's act its policy. If once it is reached up to More international border town, connectivity between Myanmar, Mandalay, or maybe Hong Kong, Thailand, Bangkok, Singapore, all these things, it can be easily touched, and also it can benefit the entire Northeast region. The commercial activities can be started immediately. Likewise, the Imphal International Airport, Imphal Airport has already been upgraded, international airport, but connection between Imphal to Mandalay, it took only 1 hour. From Imphal Airport to Kunming Airport, China's Kunming Airport, it took only 2.5 hours. It is very, very close with the northeastern region. If once it is connected with Imphal, Mandalay, or Thailand, Bangkok, or even China's Kunming also, the trade and also not only tourism also will enhance like anything. Lastly, I would like to appeal Honorable Prime Minister, Prime Minister's vision of 2020 electrification to all the villages, to all the villages of the entire country. The Manipur government, we are targeting to achieve it before 2020, before 2017 we are targeting it. But here, without any reliable power supply, it will be extremely difficult to achieve Honorable Prime Minister's visit. From Silchar to Imphal, it has already been connected by power grid, 400 line up to Imphal. But without upgradation of this Silchar, this station, power grid should have to be activated. And also I would like to appeal from Imphal to Misa, that is some part of Assam, via Kohima. This will give, and also if once it is expedited, and also if it is connected, this 400 kV line from Imphal to Misa via New Kohima. This will definitely improve power system, reliable power system, 24 by power will be available in the entire Northeast, not only Manipur and Nagaland, other neighboring states, Assam, and also other Mizoram and other states. This is my few humble suggestion. With this few words, once again I thank Honorable Prime Minister for your sparing, for your valuable time, sparing for the interest of the Northeastern region, and also for attending this valuable plenary session. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Sir, we are already running about an hour late now, sir. May I now request the remaining honorable governors and chief ministers to kindly limit their intervention to very few points. As we have said earlier, all the points will be part of the proceedings. That will be there, because we have actually run 1 hour late, and other programs will get disturbed now. So with this request, may I now call upon the Honorable Chief Minister Mizoram, Shri Lal Thanawala ji.
Respected Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Governors, esteemed colleagues, Chief Ministers, members of the Northeastern Council, senior officials, both from the center and the states, ladies and gentlemen, friends. My written speech has been circulated and therefore this can be taken as read, but I have to emphasize a few points very briefly and very quickly. At the outset, I congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister on his second anniversary and for his successful tenure of 2 years, and his popularity is still rising, and I've been told that his popularity rating today has been more than 62%, which is a rare feat and difficult to achieve. Today, his presence in today's meeting is encouraging. It demonstrates his deep interest in and concern for the welfare of the people of this underdeveloped and remote part of the country. It gives us hope for better deal and for better future. A review of NDC's performances is called for. The objective should be to revamp the body, providing it more resources and more financial authority, better technical expertise. And also I may add here that the budget of the Northeastern Council has been remaining stagnant for the last many years now. Nearly 2,000 crore earmark outlay for NDC's 12 plan will have remained unallocated at the end of the plan. We need to invest larger resources for speedier development of the region. The backlog of funds has to be met. Northeast has to grow at a very fast pace to enable to catch up with advanced parts of the country within a reasonable time frame. It would call for accelerated development of infrastructure in all the subsectors involving huge investment. The estimated fund worked out by the Northeastern Vision 2020 for this purpose should be made available by the Centre as suggested in the vision document. Maintenance of infrastructure assets poses a big problem, and this burden has become unbearable for the poor states of the Northeastern region. Northeastern Council should create a regional maintenance fund. The new thinking in the Government of India that Northeast is not only a strategic importance but a potential economic hub is most welcome. The term Act East coined by no other person than the Prime Minister himself is indeed appropriate. It is high time not to look east but to act. With India's growing ties with our neighbors Bangladesh and Myanmar, we in the Northeast have a very important role to play. However, in order to realize this, a lot of things are required to be done. In fact, I may mention here, sir, that recently I visited Myanmar and found that the people there are very eager to have better ties with India. In fact, I am proud to inform this House that in the new Parliament and under the new government, there are 25 members of Parliament belonging to the Mizo ethnic group and 11 members of Parliament belonging to the Naga group. And therefore, these people also are very eager to have better ties, not only in trade and commerce, but in all other fields as well. Infrastructure by way of roads, railways, river, and air connectivity has to be developed at a much faster rate. Health sector infrastructure in the Northeast state has been poor and inadequate. Effective intervention for upgradation of health services is essential. Availability of credible healthcare system can even promote local economy, as such a system can attract medical tourists from the neighboring states and the countries. Northeast has the potential of becoming one of the most promising tourist destinations globally. Northeast should take up a comprehensive project to exploit the potential fully. Northeastern region is vulnerable to various types of natural disaster. The biggest risk is earthquake, as the region is located in seismic zone 5, that is very high damage risk. It is imperative to make the region safe and disaster resilient. We have submitted to Northeastern Council a technology-backed scheme for post-event mitigation and relief. It may be approved and necessary fund allocated. On Swachh Bharat mission, we can lead the rest of India. The central government should provide the necessary financial support. We can become even open defecation free even before the target year of 2091. We have only one AIMS like institute, that is NARIMS in Shillong, which is not enough for to cater for the entire health need of the region. Government of India may set up more such institutes to cater to the health needs of the people. In Mizoram, we are planning to establish our first medical college to function from the next academic year. We need financial assistance for the recurring expenditure as well. I believe the development of the Northeast is critical to development of the whole country in two respects. First, for the prosperity it will bring to this region, and second, for the role that it will play in the success of India's connectivity with Southeast Asian region. This in turn will lead to further acceleration of the Northeast economic development. As such, we need to further accelerate our efforts to get this mutually reinforcing cycle in place, for which the role of Northeastern Council is indeed critical. With the installation of the new democratic government in Myanmar, both the trade point at Zokhatan in Mizoram should be strengthened and Kaladan multimodal transport project should be expedited. I hope that the discussion during the council meeting and our decisions will enrich development prospects of the northeastern region for the benefit of the entire country. Thank you very much.
I will now request the Governor of Mizoram to kindly deliver his speech.
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Chairman Northeast Council Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, my fellow Honorable Governors, Chief Ministers, senior government officials and friends, I extend my heartfelt greetings to all of you on this occasion. This 65th Plenary of Northeast Council is a historic one for more than one reason. We are honored that the Honorable Prime Minister has decided to be here amongst us, and we look forward to his guidance to take the Northeast onto a developmental platform at a very fast pace. It augurs well and befits the valedictory session and the inaugural Donor Day celebration as well. I am the 10th speaker and find that most of the issues have already been covered by the distinguished speakers before me. For Mizoram, my Chief Minister Shri Lalthan Havlaji has already flagged the points concerning the state. So I will just very briefly flag a few points which have not been covered as yet, and I think require a serious consideration, especially in a plenary where the Honorable Prime Minister is present. We are aware that for Northeast development, Northeast Council has a very pivotal role. A very honest appraisal of its activities of the last 45 years or so would indicate that despite best of efforts, it has not been able to fulfill its legitimate mandate for various reasons. And as of now, it is looking at just filling in certain gaps in our development. Conscious of this fact, there has been a renewed momentum and focus in the last 2 years. The revised guidelines of Northeastern Council approved in the last plenary reiterates this by suggesting a more comprehensive role. Complexities of development in the Northeast demand that we look at both the common thread which runs through all the northeastern states and also yet not overlook the specifics of each state.
because one side or one size doesn't fit all. I feel that Northeast should essentially focus on the issues which have a regional perspective rather than spreading itself very wide and thin. This will have a cascading effect on the state-specific development projects, which can then continue to be progressed as hitherto. Considering that this council is chaired by a union minister and all the 8 governors and the chief ministers are its members, there is a view that it can do much more, and some people do feel that this council is punching well below its weight. Therefore, there is a strong case for providing more teeth to the NEC and defining its role. Now coming to the specifics. As far as common threads are concerned, we are looking at connectivity, which is foremost, thereafter education, health and skill development. Honorable Chief Minister Mizoram has talked about connectivity in the Northeast, so therefore I will skip that. But talking about the common thread of education, we might have the highest literacy rates, like in my state in the country, but there's a big question mark on our literacy rate actually translating into jobs. Again, this is an issue which cannot be viewed in isolation. Our focus must not waver from the fact that the Northeast people still have a limited knowledge of Hindi, and even English for that matter. This is an area that the NEC, as also donor, in conjunction with the other arms of the government, can channelize some of the efforts. On the issue of skill development, again a comprehensive strategy for the region would be needed. Further, the issue of tapping the youth dividend is intrinsically linked with the health of the people, especially the youth. We are aware that the youth of the Northeast are increasingly falling prey to drugs, and diseases like cancer and HIV/AIDS have also spread their tentacles. The NEC has recognized the need for better medical facilities, and some projects have come up recently, but still a lot more needs to be done. Now I come to a very essential point which has not been covered, and that is with regard to fund support. If NEC has to play its legitimate role, apart from the organizational restructuring, its fund support has to increase. You would recall that in the 12th five-year plan, and we are in the terminal year now, as against an initial estimate of 21,000 crores or more, finally the Northeast Council only had an allotment of about 3,000 crores plus. And this terminal year, we are looking at something less than 800 crores, which comes to about 100 crores per state. So therefore, unless we enhance the fund support and give a very comprehensive role to Northeast Council, I'm afraid the way we are planning to move or trying to turn our vision of 2020 into a reality, there will be obstacles. But linked with it is the question of all stakeholders, including the states, to look into the aspects of capacity to utilize the funds effectively. A mention was made about the mandate of the 10% of the developmental funds of all the ministries of the government. The fact that we are surrendering more than about 30,000 crores every year is something which needs to be looked into, and we need to demystify and introspect this. Then, in the end, I'll also make a mention here that the border areas or the border belt of all our northeastern states is subject to thinning out. People are moving out, moving into the interiors. In Mizoram itself, more than 25% of the population resides in Aizawl or around, and it is the same as the state in all the northeastern areas. For us, it is important that we develop the border belt and ensure that it is no longer vulnerable. And to do that, there is also a case for our security, border guarding forces, be it BSF, Assam Rifles, Army, ITBP, to come into play, and we use the Border Area Development Fund on a larger scale to do that. That is all that I wanted to say,
And therefore, I would once again reiterate that we need to substantially upgrade and clarify the role of NEC, and its mandate should not only include planning but also coordination and monitoring. It is heartening to note, as mentioned by one speaker earlier, that the frequency of meetings and visits to Northeast by the union ministers and various central government officials have increased manifold, thus shifting the center of gravity to this region, so to say. I recommend that the annual NEC meetings are followed by half-yearly or quarterly issue-specific meetings for each state to monitor and assist the execution of plans. Ladies and gentlemen, I join all my colleagues in thanking donor and NEC for conducting the 65th plenary in an exemplary manner. I'm certain that together we'll gallop our way to transform Northeast into a gateway from an outpost. The importance of this region is well known, and the interest and the focus of our Honorable Prime Minister need not be stated by me. The deliberations of yesterday and today have been quite enriching, and I am grateful for this opportunity to present my views in this August Council. I am confident that the NEC shall continue to achieve greater heights. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. Jai Hind.
I now request Chief Minister of Nagaland to give his speech.
Respected Sri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Jitendra Prasad, Honorable Minister of State for Donor and ex-officio Chairman of NEC, Honorable Governors and fellow Chief Ministers of Northeast Region, the permanent members of NEC, Secretary, Donor and other officials of Government of India, Secretary NEC and other officials of NEC, Chief Secretaries and senior officers of Northeast State, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. Since the speech has been already circulated, I would like to underline only few points where I would like to dwell upon. As mention had been made, everywhere we could see the growth in every field after India independence. However, it is unfortunate to see the downtrend of annual allocation of fund for NEC after 44 years of its existence. For 2016-17, the budget allocation yesterday, where we failed to discuss, stand at 800 crore for 8 states. We have requested Honorable Minister Donor to invite Finance Ministry representative and the Niti Aayog, but in a short span of time, he could not do it. Anyway, I request the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of State Donor to look into this trend of funding, which is in diminishing return. With 800 crore for 8 states, we lost our way to prepare appropriate plan. I also request the Honorable Prime Minister to kindly put this problem into the knowledge of Finance Ministry and Niti Aayog to attend this kind of meeting in the near future, so that seeing the ground reality, the problem can be sorted out. Another area of concern I would like to dwell and request the NEC to relook at the past 44 years of NEC. NEC achievement has been made very laudable with constraint of fund. But when you look at properly, there were some discrepancy and some discrimination while implementing certain programs. Example 1, NERCOV, phase 1 and 2. Only Assam, Meghalaya and Manipur were included. We have requested to include Nagaland in phase 3, but this was not included, and only Manipur and Arunachal were included even in phase 3. Nagaland has been excluded from this program. Number 2, we have as many as 14 regional institutes in this region, assisted and promoted by NEC since its inception. Of these, 7 are in Assam, 3 in Meghalaya, and 1 each in Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, and Mizoram, but none in Nagaland. This is what I want to request NEC to re-look of the past 44 years of implementation of some programs. I mention this not to blame anybody, but for bringing corrective measure to be taken in the near future. In regard to air connectivity, my governor has already explained, so I would not like to repeat the same. But when we talk about tourist flow in the Northeast region, you can say that the Northeast region is the hotspot of tourism development in the country. But how tourists can travel in Northeast region is a problem, because we don't have interstate connectivity, airways connectivity. As my governor has mentioned, for the last 2-3 years, we have been asking Air India to fly from Guwahati to Dimapur or Guwahati to Imphal via Dimapur. But till today, we are cut off from Guwahati, which is the hub of the Northeast region. I request the Honorable Prime Minister and Donor Minister at least to insist on Air India to fly Delhi, Guwahati, Imphal via Dimapur at the earliest date, which is very much viable. And another area of concern is that our state in Northeast regions are all landlocked states. People talk about this fencing along the borders. But for Nagaland, I would like to tell you that we don't require any kind of fencing, because there is no sign of encroachment and there is no way for encroachment. The other side, habited by Nagas, India side, habited by Nagas. So there is no room for encroachment. Even the village Ang, we call it Ang, is the chief of the village in Longgo village. His house is divided by international border. If you enter in the front, you are in India. You move out at the back door, you are in Myanmar. Still then, there is no problem. So we don't require fencing in this, along this the Nagaland and Myanmar border. But we need to open up. Once we open up the economy of the people, and the country can really look towards Southeast Asian country. And implementation of this Act East policy will be in reality if we can open up the road from Nagaland to Myanmar, Mizoram to Myanmar, and Manipur to Myanmar. But opening up this 4-lane road or 6-lane road from Assam, Nagaland, Manipur is not only for Northeast region, but this will be the gateway for the entire country toward this Southeast Asian countries. Only 3 days back, I have flagged off the car rally organized by Malaysia, Thailand, and India. 3 countries together have organized a car rally, and I have flagged off the other day, only 3 days back. And while traveling, I have learned that the worst portion of road is from Nagaland to Imphal and Imphal to More. The other parts of the countries, the road are 4-lane road, 6-lane road, and it's going up to Kuala Lumpur. So when the other side is coming up with 6-lane road, 4-lane road, why we cannot build 4-lane road from Guwahati, Dimapur, Imphal to More? I think this is possible, and this is most viable, because 4-lane road from Dimapur to Kohima is already sanctioned and the work has been allotted. Only the gap, about 40 kilometers from Assam to Dimapur, and from Kohima to Imphal, and Imphal to More, I think that will cover only about 200 kilometers only. So I request Honorable Minister Donor and the Prime Minister to look into this problem and open up a landlocked state, unlock the landlocked state through this opening this gateway. And railway, I used to mention in every important meeting during 1996-97, railway project was prepared and the DPR was approved by Railway Ministry from Dhansiri to Karong, Manipur. Then after reaching Karong, you can easily follow this national highway to Imphal, then to More. This railway line can open up another window for the entire country. So if you can relook, the DPR which was approved and kept in the cold storage can be reopened. It will be a great opening eye for the entire country. Coming to this medical college in Nagaland, 3 years back, this foundation stone was laid, and we have already cleared land compensation. But till today, sanction has not been accorded. So I request the Donor Minister and Prime Minister to take up this with the concerned ministry at the earliest. Sir, in conclusion, we sincerely hope, under the visionary leadership of Sri Narendra Modi ji, the Honorable Prime Minister, and Dr. Jitendra Singh, the Honorable Minister of State in charge for donor, who are strong believers and proponents of the potential of Northeast region and the Act East policy. I have no doubt that the NEC will play an even more significant role in the socio-economic development of the region and implementation of the Act East policy. As mentioned earlier, I am confident that the 65th plenary session of the NEC, which is being convened in the honored presence of the Honorable Prime Minister, will not only be a grand success, but a meaningful one. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Respected Prime Minister, Honorable Minister Donor, Honorable Governors, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable MPs, government officials, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Prime Minister is aware that the 14th Finance Commission award to Sikkim grossly overstated the growth rate of Sikkim is 150%. Hence, our revenue was pegged at rupees 3,000 crores per annum. Our actual revenue is rupees 1,000 crores, This leaves a huge gap of rupees 2,000 crores annually. In 5 years, it will mean we will have a shortfall of rupees 10,000 crores. We are therefore staring at a huge disruption in our finances. Our position has now been acknowledged by the Finance Ministry. My request is that Honorable Prime Minister help us find ways and means to cover this gap and give us relief. For a small state like ours, there is no other way to fill this void but to get direct transfers from the center. 2. Honorable Prime Minister, we have to bring to your kind notice that there were many special schemes that were funded under SPA and SCA in the past. These schemes need to be completed. A total of rupees 350 crores is needed for this purpose. I am hopeful that this will also be entertained at the earliest to help us complete these schemes which are all related to infrastructure. Honorable Prime Minister, one of the ways out is to ensure that this money comes from the NLCPR, which is being discussed between donor and the Finance Ministry. This will pave the way for the rapid resolution of all such issues for all other states also. Honorable Prime Minister is aware that Sikkim has one of the highest density of roads. Sikkim has the highest mountain in India, the mighty Kanchenjunga, which is also our guardian deity. Being a mountainous state in a seismic zone 5, we also receive heavy rainfall. This adds to our major difficulties. Roads are always under severe disruption due to landslides. We have to create a pool of resources to undertake maintenance on a war footing. Hence, my proposal is that a new head be created under donor or NEC to be funded liberally from NLCPR. This will take care of this very important issue. A total of rupees 500 crores will be required for this purpose in Sikkim annually to maintain over 4,000 kilometer roads. Thank you. Jai Hind.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, जितेंद्र जी, मेरे सहकारी राज्यपाल जी, मित्रों, मैं 2 मिनट लेने वाला हूँ। जो मेरा राज्य अभी ऑर्गेनिक स्टेट बन के आया है, हालांकि आजकल हम देख रहे हैं कि जो भी कोई ग्रेजुएट बनता है वो एलडीसी बनना चाहता है, काश्तकार बनना नहीं चाहता, क्योंकि उसके हिस्से में पैसे नहीं जाते। आराम से पंखे के नीचे काम करने वाले लोग ज़्यादा हुए। तो ऑर्गेनिक में जाने के लिए अगर मैंने बनाया हुआ माल मुझे अगर 30 या 40 हज़ार रुपये पर मन दे दे तो मैं वो काम करूँगा। इसके लिए ऑर्गेनिक चेन बनाकर, कोल्ड चेन बनाकर, कोल्ड हाउसेज बनाकर मेरा माल अगर दिल्ली जाए, हैदराबाद जाए, बंगलोर जाए, परदेश जाए तो मुझे पैसा मिलेगा और जो लोग काश्तकारी करना नहीं चाहते वो काश्तकारी करने लगेंगे। भारत में जब भी मैं कहीं कहीं जाता हूँ तो दार खोलने वाला प्यून को लड़की पसंद करती है, काश्तकार को पसंद नहीं करती। इसीलिए अगर ऐसी कुछ पॉलिसी निकाल जाए कि यंग मैन आर अट्रैक्टेड बाय द एग्रीकल्चर, दैट टू ऑर्गेनिक, यही एक मेरा पॉइंट है। और दूसरा एक पॉइंट है बागडोगरा एयरपोर्ट, जो हमारा कनेक्टिंग एयरपोर्ट है, वहाँ अगर दोपहर जाएंगे तो एसटी स्टैंड है, 700-800 पैसेंजर होते हैं। तो जो इंस्ट्रूमेंटल लैंडिंग सिस्टम होती है वो अगर मिले तो दिन में 4 या 5 बार विमान उतरेंगे और ये हो जाएगा। इतना ही मेरी एक विनती है कि अगर ये ऑर्गेनिक यानी क्या है लोगों को पता नहीं है, कैसे शुरू हुआ 2003 में, 2015 तक उसको कैसे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 18 जनवरी को डिक्लेयर किया। वो 18 जनवरी दिन हम अगले साल भी ऑर्गेनिक देख करके शाही जाहिर करने वाले हैं। आप आने की वजह से सिक्किम ऑर्गेनिक स्टेट बन गया है। लोग हमारी तरफ बड़ी आशा से देख रहे हैं। हम लोगों को सिखाएंगे, अगर स्कूल निकाला है, कॉलेज निकाला, तो ऑर्गेनिक क्या होता है, कैसे बनाना पड़ता है, बीज कैसे लेना पड़ता है, उगाना कैसे पड़ता है, सर्टिफिकेशन कैसा करना पड़ता है, पैकिंग कैसे करना पड़ता है और विपणन कैसा करना पड़ता है, इसका स्कूल निकालेंगे तो हमें खुशी होगी। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, मंच पर विराजमान महानुभावों, देवियों और सज्जनों, in the very limited time available, I would like to draw the kind attention of the Honorable Prime Minister, the NEC, and the Minister in charge of donor to certain serious problems which are plaguing the state of Tripura. The state of Tripura, as you know, is the third smallest in terms of area in the whole of the country, and it is so peculiarly situated that it is surrounded on three sides by Bangladesh. Only one side is connected to India. This gives rise to certain very serious connectivity problems, and these connectivity problems are one thing that I would like to bring to your kind attention. But before that, most serious problem which is confronting the state is the continued presence of some 35,000 internally displaced persons who had entered the state from Mizoram some 20 years back, and it has not been possible so far to repatriate them back to Mizoram in spite of all possible efforts on the part of both states. In this regard, the initiative of the Union Home Ministry would be most essential. I have spoken to my counterpart in Mizoram. Mizoram is prepared to cooperate in all possible ways, but the initiative will have to be taken by the Union Home Ministry. The second thing is regarding connectivity. Regarding connectivity, the position is so acute that until yesterday the state was cut off from the rest of the world except by air. The National Highway number 44, which is the lifeline of the state of Tripura, was in such a horrible state of disrepair in one section in Assam that no traffic was going on this thing. Now, yesterday I brought this to the attention of the minister in charge of donor, and through his good officers and the good officers of the Chief Secretary of Assam, who is present over here, we have made some headway, but some further chasing, constant attention will have to be given to this thing. The next thing to which I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Prime Minister is that the Honorable Prime Minister has brought about a sea change in the life of the people of Tripura with the cooperation of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh by starting direct bus services between Agartala and Kolkata. People of Agartala and Kolkata are ethnically, linguistically and culturally related. There is a lot of traffic between the two, but even poor people have to travel by air between these two places. Bus services have been a great boon. The only thing is that to travel by bus on this route, one has Indian citizens to travel by from India to India, that is from Agartala to Kolkata or vice versa. They have to have passport and visa. Now, my suggestion to the Union Ministry of External Affairs is, would it be possible by negotiation with Bangladesh to dispense with the need for having passport and visa? Such arrangements are possible elsewhere in the erstwhile West Germany and between erstwhile West Germany and West Berlin before the German unification of 1990. People used to travel from one to the other without passport or visa through East Germany. If this thing is possible, it will be a great help to the people of Tripura. The fourth thing is that Tripura has a great archaeological asset in a place called Unakoti, which is comparable to Elephanta Caves or Mahabalipuram. But this archaeological find, which can be a great tourist attraction, it has not been properly utilized because of lack of connectivity. If only there is an airport at a place called Kailashahar, if this Kailashahar airport can be reactivated, then this will make, it will be possible to bring tourists to this archaeological place of Unakoti, and both the state and the whole country will be benefited. Talking about the air connectivity, one or two other things I have to submit before I finish. I have already brought this to the notice of the Civil Aviation Ministry, that in the air connectivity, right now, the only carrier which is carrying stretcher cases is Air India. The private airlines do not carry stretcher cases. As a result, sick people in Tripura who have to travel to Kolkata or Guwahati for treatment, they are put to very great difficulty in order to travel. If this thing can be set right by either forcing the private airlines to accept stretcher cases or Air India to fly more flights, people would be hugely benefited. And one other thing is, last, that is, if Agartala Airport, which has a lot of connection with Bangladesh, if this can be upgraded at least to the level of a customs and immigration airport with connections to places in Bangladesh like Chittagong, Dhaka and Sylhet, then there will be a lot of traffic and the interaction between the two countries, which is a friendly country, will be improved to a great extent. Thank you very much.
Honorable Prime Minister, sir, His Excellency, the Governors of the Northeastern States, Honorable Chief Ministers of the Northeastern States, Senior Officers of the Government of India, the state governments, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a historic day today. Historic because it was on this day, the 27th of May 2001, that the Ministry of Donor was established. It is also historic because it is nearly after 4 decades that Prime Minister of India is here to address a meeting of NEC at the headquarters city of Shillong. It sounds amazing, sir, but it is true that NEC had to wait for almost 40 years for Shri Narendra Modi ji to take over as Prime Minister and grace this occasion by his presence. We are grateful to you, sir. Your presence has enforced our morale, and at the same time it has sent out a loud message how much you care for Northeast, how high it stands on your priority of development. Sir, I was assigned this charge about 1.5 years ago, and soon thereafter I tried to educate myself about the region from all the sources. And the first 2 things that I learned was, one, that if India is known as a country of unity in diversity, Northeast is indeed a striking example of diversity within diversity. You have hundreds of tribes, you have dozens of languages, dozens of cultures, dozens of lifestyles, dozens of food habits, and yet they coexist in spite of their diversity. The second thing I learned was, sir, often it was said, we must try to bring Northeast closer to India, to the rest of India. But I was quick to understand that it was perhaps the other way around. The rest of India needed to learn a lot much from Northeast. For example, we have some of the states which have a literacy rate which is much higher than most of the other states of India. We have some of the states over here whose growth rate is in 2 digits, which is higher in most of the other states. Within weeks after taking over, sir, with the kind patronage of all the governors and all the chief ministers, we could manage to hold a meeting of Northeast Council in the Northeast Council headquarters at Shillong after a gap of as many as 10 years. And for 10 years, not a single minister from Government of India had entered into the headquarter building of NEC at Shillong. And thereafter, sir, we began under your leadership this journey of development. Soon there was a very wise instruction from you, And thereafter, we prepared a roster of 8 union ministers traveling to Northeast every fortnight, which means 1 minister in each state in each 15 days. We also realized that the donor ministry needed some more visibility at the region level. And therefore, we started this experiment of having a camp secretariat by rotation in each of these states, so that the people of Northeast could realize that for redressal of their grievance, they need not always travel to Delhi. Delhi can also travel to their doorstep. There are 2 or 3 elements which we try to introduce, sir. We sought to go beyond the mandate of development, and we owned the region. Whether there was a calamity or a flood or an earthquake or a violent incident, we stood by them so that the donor ministry could identify with them. Secondly, sir, we also try to be a little more innovative and visionary. For example, for the first time in the history of independent India, a region-based road corporation was established last year by the name Northeast Road Development Scheme, which will be specially devoted to the orphan roads between the 2 states, which has been repeatedly referred by most of His Excellencies and the Chief Ministers. For the first time, the organic farming mission was converted into an institutionalized program under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, beginning from Sikkim. For the first time, the coordinating role of donor was formalized, and we set up official interministerial committees with other ministries of the center. And sir, for the first time, the space center which exists in Shillong was put into action, and now it will be also offering its inputs for the development works. And as a result of this coordination, sir, soon we will have a regional institute of architecture in place and a regional institute of skill development in place. Donor has also started the process of doing part funding in some of the other ministerial work so that we could have a sense of participation. For example, sir, in power sector, we are funding micro hydro projects. In the HRD, we are doing gap funding for the infrastructure of universities and colleges. And most importantly, sir, for the historic rail track which is being built from Tripura to Bangladesh, the Indian side of rail track from Agartala to Akhora will be funded by donor. So that, sir, when tomorrow Honorable Prime Minister's Act East policy brings glory to the country, we would also have a reason and justification to say that we were also part of it. The greatest issue over here is that of youth, sir. There's a mass exodus constantly happening, partly for reasons of higher education, partly for reasons of employment. You would recall, the Honorable Prime Minister had initiated a wonderful program of Start Up India, Stand Up India. And there are some incredible provisions, like exit period of 3 months, like a tax holiday. On behalf of donors, sir, and it's my great privilege to announce over here, we are also offering an additional privilege of venture capital fund for any startup who wishes to try his fortune in Northeast. And I'm sure, sir, with the kind of organic farming potential and the other potentials, if we succeed in this direction, the day is not far when Northeast will become favorite destination for all the young startups from across the country. We have also, sir, initiated private-public model practice. And as a result of which, beginning from January this year, we are training physicians and surgeons from Northeast in some of the leading institutes. We have already started cancer training, considering that the prevalence of cancer is higher in these states. We already have entered into an understanding with the famous ADR Cancer Institute in Chennai and Tata Memorial Institute. Besides that, sir, in the Borua Cancer Institute in Guwahati, beginning from this year, we will have super specialty courses in MCH and DM in cancer. And we will also, with the help of some corporate sectors, try to set up medical colleges and hospitals, beginning with the state of Meghalaya itself. I can't take much time, sir. Already much time has been taken up. In the end, I would just sum up by saying that this is one of the best times happening for Northeast under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister. Now it is up to all of us. It is our responsibility to ensure that we do not miss this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न काउंसिल के चेयरमैन और मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे साथी डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, नॉर्थ ईस्ट राज्यों के माननीय राज्यपाल महोदय और माननीय मुख्यमंत्रीगण, नॉर्थ ईस्ट काउंसिल के सभी अन्य माननीय सदस्य, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू बी हियर फॉर द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न काउंसिल plenary meeting. I also take this opportunity of welcoming you all to this meeting. I hope that the deliberations that have already taken place yesterday and further deliberations that we have to today will help in faster development of this region. I'm also happy to note that the North Eastern Council has provided support in the development of the Northeast region. It has been instrumental in establishment of a number of institutions and taking up infrastructure projects in the region. The North Eastern Council was set up in 1972. Since then, it has contributed to the development of the northeastern region. To meet the growing aspirations of the people, it is important that the Northeastern Council introspects and assesses the extent to which it has been able to achieve its objective. Perhaps there is a need to reorient and upgrade the Northeastern Council. You may like to consider developing the Northeastern Council as a state-of-the-art resource center for the northeastern states with the necessary resources, knowledge, and skills. The resource center may enable the states and the implementing agencies to properly plan and execute projects, promote research and innovations, and provide strategic policy vision for the region. The Northeastern Council may look into developing a specialized domain expertise either by itself or through an agency body to assist states and central ministries in their development planning and also problem solving needs. This will enable the imbibing of good governance and best practices in the region. The Northeastern Council should also consider focusing on issues in emerging areas of livelihood, entrepreneurship, venture funds, startups, and skill development. All this will help in generating jobs. The government has been focusing on the development of the Northeastern region through its proactive Act East policy. As part of this policy, we are focusing on reducing the isolation of the region by improving all-round connectivity through road, rail, telecom, power, and waterways sector. If the western region of the country can develop, if other regions of the country can develop, I see no reason why the northeastern region of the country cannot develop. I am also convinced that India can move forward if all the regions develop, including the northeastern region. The northeastern region is also very important to us for strategic reasons. And it is my conviction that we have to bring this region at par with the other developed regions of the country. In the current budget, more than 30,000 crore rupees have been earmarked for the northeastern region. It should be our endeavor to ensure that this money is spent well for the development of the region. We believe in cooperative and competitive federalism. States that are strong and want to grow further need to be given adequate authority and resources. And states that are not so strong need to be given needful assistance. It is in this regard that, based on the report of the Committee of Chief Ministers, we have decided to continue to provide assistance in the ratio of 90-10 for core central schemes and 80-20 for non-core schemes to the northeastern states. In the recent past, we have established two important projects in Assam, Brahmaputra Cracker and Polymer Limited and Numaligarh Refinery Limited's wax unit. These are big projects that would create huge employment opportunities in the northeast region. However, it has taken us many years to complete these projects. We have to ensure that we are able to complete our projects in time and without cost overruns. Only then can we realize the true benefits of these projects. The Northeast is the gateway to Southeast Asia, and we need to take advantage of this. We are opening up both road and rail routes to our neighboring countries. This should give a boost to the economic development of the region. We have created a specialized highways construction agency for the Northeast, the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation, that was incorporated on 18 July 2014. Since then, it has set up its branch offices, one each in every northeastern state. As of today, it is implementing 34 projects in the northeastern states, covering a length of 1,001 kilometers at a total cost of over rupees 10,000 crore. In the road sector, we need to keep in view the special land and weather conditions of this area. Most of the northeast areas get a lot of rainfall and are also prone to natural calamities and landslides. We just need to be careful in using appropriate technologies in the construction of roads in this area. We have recently implemented and improved internet connectivity project for the northeast region in collaboration with Bangladesh. This will make available 10 GB of seamless alternate bandwidth for the region. This integration will benefit the northeast region tremendously. The government is also making a heavy investment in power transmission projects covering all the 8 northeastern states at a cost of around rupees 10,000 crore. This would ensure power to more areas. The recent commissioning of Vishwanath Chariali Agra transmission line has also brought 500 megawatt additional capacity to the region. The railways have undertaken a major expansion in the region at a cost of around rupees 10,000 crore. In November 2014, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya were put up on the rail map. Agartala in Tripura has also been connected with broad gauge line. We are on the way to ensure that all the northeast states come on the rail map as soon as possible. In the northeast, the Indian Railways has commissioned about 900 kilometers of broad gauge in the last 2 years, leaving only about 50 kilometers meter gauge lines to be converted in 2016-17. In addition, 132 kilometers part of third alternative connectivity route to northeast, that is new Managari, Jogigofa, has also been commissioned. There are a number of strengths of the northeast which we need to harness for healthy growth of the region. All the states of the northeast region are blessed with natural scenic beauty, distinct historical culture and ethnic heritage. All this offers them tremendous scope for tourism in the region. There is also a great scope for mountaineering, trekking and adventure tourism in the region. If developed and promoted well, this can emerge as the biggest employer in the region. It can also add to the growth and income of the region. I understand that the Ministry of Tourism has identified a thematic circuit for the northeast region. I hope that the northeastern states will make the best use of the scheme to develop tourist circuits and attract tourists from all over the world. The region can also look into combining a few popular destinations of the neighboring countries with their tourism circuits. This will be an added attraction for tourists. The majority of youth of the northeast region is English speaking. With improved connectivity and language skills, you may look into the setting up of the BPO industry in the region. The government has approved Northeast BPO promotion scheme in the Digital India program for creation of employment opportunities. The Northeast states must avail facilities and get these BPOs organized in the respective states. This will promote growth and provide jobs to our youth. The Northeast is home to exotic fruits, flowers, vegetables, aromatic plants, and herbs. Most of them are organic in origin. If we focus our development strategy on organic farming, it would help the region greatly. A few months ago, I was in Sikkim and participated in the function to declare Sikkim as the first organic state in the country. Other states can take a lead from Sikkim, and the Northeastern Council can also play an important role in the development of organic farming in the region. The Northeast can become the organic food basket for this country. Organic products are going to be increasingly used widely, and if the Northeastern Council can assist the states in the region to take a lead in this area, it will contribute immensely to the income of the people and the region. There is a large rural population in the Northeast region. If we talk of Assam alone, 86% of the population lives in the rural areas. We have initiated the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee mission to bring in economic, social and basic development of the rural areas in a cluster model. It should be the endeavor of the region states to make use of this mission for the development of the rural areas. In the end, I would like to express my gratitude to the chairman and all the members of the Northeastern Council for successfully conducting the plenary meeting in Shillong. My special thanks to the Governor and the Chief Minister of Meghalaya for hosting this meeting. I am sure that the deliberations in this meeting will go a long way in providing direction to the development of the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Secretary Northeastern Council, Sri Muya, to give vote of thanks.
I feel deeply honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks on this historic occasion. 27th of May 2016 is indeed a very memorable day in the history of the Northeastern Council, when our Honorable Prime Minister is with us for the 65th NEC plenary session. I, on behalf of the Northeastern Council, Ministry of Donor and all the 8 states of Northeast of India, express our deep gratitude to our Honorable Prime Minister for gracing the 65th NEC plenary session and sharing with us his vision for the development of the Northeast India. We are greatly encouraged by his gracious presence and immensely benefited by his inspiring address, vision and leadership. My enormous respect to you, sir. We assure our Honorable Prime Minister that we will relentlessly continue to work to fulfill his dreams for the rapid and sustainable development of this beautiful region with immense potential. We also have today with us our most enduring Union Minister of State for Donor and Chairman NEC, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, who is known for his selfless commitment and mission for the development of the Northeastern region. I wish to express our profuse thanks to him for giving encouragement to us by his gracious presence. My thanks goes to Sri V. Shamukhanathan, Honorable Governor of Meghalaya and Manipur, for his support in organizing this meeting. I thank him for his encouragement. We are extremely thankful to the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Dr. Mukul Sangma, for his continuous support and guidance to NEC. I also wish to express my sincere thanks to all the Honorable Governors and Chief Ministers of Northeastern states. I also thank to all the members of NEC, and also thank Education Minister Tripura, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, all the members of Parliament, and all the distinguished participants who have come to attend the 65th NEC plenary session. My deep gratitude to Sri Naveen Verma, Secretary, Ministry of Donor, and officials of Ministry of Donor for their support, encouragement, and guidance. I would like to thank secretaries of various ministries, Security Advisor, Director General of Assam Rifles, and officials of different ministries and government. My deep regard and thanks to Sri K.S. Kropha,
Chief Secretary Meghalaya and his team of state government officials for their support. My special thanks to Sri Rajiv Mehta, DGP of Meghalaya, and his team of police officials. I also like to thank the management and staff of Pinewood Hotel and the State Convention Center for hosting this. My sincere thanks to the print and electronic media for their presence and giving excellent coverage of the station. Finally, my special and heartfelt thanks to the officials and staff of NEC for their support, dedication, teamwork, and untiring efforts, without which such a mega event could not have taken place. They all work smilingly, shoulder to shoulder, to make this 65th NEC plenary session successful. Thank you all. Kuble, Matila, and Jai Hind.
With temperatures dipping to around 20 degrees centigrade and the occasional fog sifting through the treetops, the curtains on the 65th Plenary of the Northeastern Council has been drawn. Important issues like connectivity